fossil fuel industry, the oil and gas industry, they're saying, you know what, it doesn't matter. Internal combustion companies, Toyota, for example, they're saying, you know what, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many emissions we pump into the atmosphere, poisoning ourselves. We can just remove them using carbon capture. However, one of the biggest mining companies in the world says actually this is all a big scam. It's all just a big lie. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. I rarely make videos about carbon capture because it is a very controversial topic. Some people believe that it is economically impossible or economically inefficient anyway. Now a billionaire, one of the richest men in the world, a mining billionaire, has slammed carbon capture as a complete falsehood, as a lie that we've been fed by the media, by fossil fuel interests. Carbon capture has failed for decades to take off, and policymakers need real solutions to emissions reductions, not a so-called complete falsehood such as carbon capture technology, according to Andrew Forrest, the Australian billionaire who is the founder of iron ore producer Fortescue Metals Group. Now, Forrest he's pretty outspoken. In a lot of ways, he's actually a little bit like Elon Musk, but he just doesn't have the same profile. Elon Musk is probably a bit smarter as well. However, he's certainly not an idiot. He said this: we're going to keep burning fossil fuels and somehow magically get rid of the carbon down into the ground where there is no proof that it will stay there, but heaps of proof that it fails, he said. Now, he said this in Paris at the 50th anniversary of the International Energy Agency, or the IEA. I say for policymakers everywhere, do not be the next idiot waiting for the old lie to be trotted out and say, I believe in carbon sequestration. It has only failed for 75 years. It's a complete falsehood, said Forrest. Now, Forrest believes that there is a solution to reducing emissions, but it's not carbon capture. That said, the company that he founded is actually the world's fourth largest iron ore producer. They tried an experiment at some of their mines. They purchased massive hydrogen machines, and I'm talking machines that are bigger than your house, and then they made electric versions of them. They actually got a special company to make them in electric and a hydrogen version. They tested them out. Now, the company is heavily invested into hydrogen. So you would think they'd be promoting hydrogen for, no matter what the cost. But they didn't. They said this. They said the electric version was so much better, they simply stopped using the hydrogen-powered version. Gives you an idea of where electric and hydrogen machinery is going. Here's what Fortescue said it would do in September of last year. We're the only heavy emitter of pollution in the world to stop purchasing voluntary offsets. And this was said by the CEO at the time. We will focus our efforts on eliminating the 1 million litres of diesel we use per year rather than offsetting them. It's a really good point. I mean, offsetting them is sort of like hoping that someone else can solve the problem for you, the problem that you're creating. But Fortescue is saying, no, you know what? Rather than doing that, let's just try and work out ways how we can actually reduce our carbon rather than just paying a fine or paying for others to offset it. While the founder of the company is criticizing carbon capture as a technology that could help reduce emissions, policymakers and governments are touting, they're, going on to no end about the benefits of carbon capture, and they are supporting and subsidizing these carbon capture projects, including through the Inflation Reduction Act in the United States. The Biden administration has significantly raised tax credit values for carbon capture technology within the IRA. So the Biden administration is actually putting billions of dollars into this technology, which, many people think is a waste of money. Carbon capture, utilization, and storage could potentially, though, play a vital role in the decarbonization of some industries. Because some industries will continue to be fossil fuels. There's nothing we can do about it. We need oil for certain things such as making plastics. But carbon removal cannot be used by oil and gas firms while they continue to pump fossil fuels as usual, says a report by the Energy Transitions Commission in November. CCUS and removals are vital, but do not mean business as usual, said the Commission, which includes industry executives, bankers, and academics. So what are your thoughts on this, guys? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I actually, in principle, agree with Fortescue and with Andrew Twiggy right now. I believe that today there's no real economically viable version of carbon capture. There's companies saying that they can do it at viable prices, but ultimately they do need stimulus from government. They need funds from government. There isn't really anyone doing this and making it economically viable. That doesn't mean it won't happen in the future. I'm committed to the belief that it will happen in the future, that we can improve the global situation in terms of our air quality in the future. I do believe artificial intelligence will play a big part in this. And so will things like having a closed supply chain. For example, we no longer need to mine lithium. We have a closed circuit. There's enough lithium that we keep on recycling the old battery packs, turning them into new ones. And that's said to happen in probably 2050 to 2060. When we get to that point, I believe that we can start working on carbon capture technology using batteries, for example, where we're simply recycling batteries and using them for new machines that can capture carbon. But we're a long way off that happening. What are your thoughts? Thanks for watching.